Okay. So, I hope you can hear me. This is going to be a documentation of the beginnings of my garden here at our little condo, and I'll show you the area. I'm sitting in what's going to be my grow shed. It's filled with dog stuff, miscellaneous stuff, and grilling stuff, but I'm going to empty it all out and put some shelving units and trays in here with a heater and humidifier and lights and all that to be able to start seedlings. I have a lot of the research that I've been doing here, so I'll show you that. But I just wanted to document this to kind of see the growth of where it started and hopefully where it can end up. I'm a little sick right now. If you sound a little nasally, if you hear the baby in the background, he's playing on his little toy. But yeah, it was about, I think, a week ago now that something just hit me and I wanted to start gardening, kind of as a hobby, but also just as a way to have a more cheaper source of food eventually for my family that's healthy, and I know where it comes from and all of that. So I'll just go through this. The first thing that I did was I wrote down all of the types of food that we eat, types of veggies that we eat that would be beneficial to grow ourselves. Well, let me back up. I started with finding a podcast, The Prairie Homestead with Jill Winger, and I listened to a lot of her stuff. I watched all of her videos on YouTube, and then through using the seeding company that she uses, I found the specific varieties of food that we would want that grow here in our zone, which is 7B. And then I started trying to figure out how many of them, what days to start them inside, and then transplant outside. I did a sun mapping of our little back patio right here that's half concrete and half, well, it's covered in rocks right now, but we can change that. It didn't start off looking too good because we have a big tree that will soon be trimmed down to hopefully give us more sun throughout the day, because I think with the sun exposure that we have now, with the tree there, it wouldn't be enough hours for the plants to get enough sunlight to grow well. Then I took some measurements of the grow shed, tried to see how many shelving units we could fit in there if we needed that many. And then I did the same thing for the outside area. I took measurements of all the space that we would have to put raised beds. I'm mainly going to be doing raised beds here, just because it's mostly concrete and I don't want to mess with whatever soil we have. Then I measured the shelving units that I found on Amazon and the grow trays and the lights to see how we could maximize this space in the grow shed, the prices and everything. And then I did some more research on the plants and how far apart they had to be spaced to properly grow so that I would know how many plants we could fit in each raised bed. Then I used the website where I'm going to buy the seeds from and just looked at for the specific varieties of these vegetables, like how long it takes for them to mature, how deep you should plant them, what type of soil they prefer, what type of temperature they prefer, and the amount of sunlight that they need. And then I used the Old Almanac Farmers website to look up companion growing to see what I could grow together in the beds to kind of maximize space and help the plants grow better. And that's about it for that right now. I'm in the process of trying to figure out how many raised beds we can fit here with what configuration. I want to do some variety of a 6x3 and an 8x4, about a foot or a foot and a half deep. I'm planning on using some like cement blocks. I don't know if they're cement, but some blocks from Home Depot and some cedar wood. Found the idea on TikTok on a video that I saw about no screws, no drills needed. They just kind of slide into the grooves of the stone, and they're mobile that way. But I have to purchase some to be able to figure out exactly where we can fit what. So that's the next step. I also started this binder. Along with this gardening is kind of the beginnings of what my husband and I want to do with some land when we buy it. We want upwards of 5 acres, but hopefully 10 or more, just so that we don't box ourselves in if our dreams grow. But we'd like to do some sort of homesteading. I don't know if I want to go to the extent of milking a cow with raw milk, but having a garden, having chickens for eggs, and then eventually chickens for some meat, I think would be great. I've started staying home with my baby, who's now 5 months old, and instead of sitting around all day on the couch, I wanted to find something to do with my time. So I figured this gardening and plans for our future would be a good place to start. So in this binder, I created it using an e-workbook from Jill Winger. It has my why in it as to why I want to live this type of life. Some Bible verses about farming that I thought were encouraging. Some goals for what our homestead could look like within 10 years. And then I did some more planning for the dates that the vegetables and the seedlings have to be started and when they have to be transplanted. So I came up with, I kind of consolidated a bunch of grow or planting days in the spring. So I have 5 days between March and April that I'll be working out here in the garden. So that's our deadline, is to get all of this, at least the indoor stuff, set up by February, and then the outside set up by March, to be able to get these veggies growing. It is the beginning of September right now, 2023, so I feel like it's a kind of a good time that this hit. This yearning to want to do this, because I have enough time to plant and maybe throw some cover crops in my raised beds to give them a good start for this upcoming spring. Some more planning on which veggies to put together and how many beds I will need, and then how many plants that would equal with the space that I will have, probably. And then this last little sheet here is me trying to figure out different ways that I could fit certain stuff, but I had to stop here because I just need to buy some supplies. So that'll be my next thing to do. And on this sheet I just kind of visualized how many veggies could fit per raised bed, just in case, like, if I were able to maximize it. I obviously can't have this many here, but so yeah, just waiting to be able to get some supplies, and in the meantime I have found this little show on Prime Video that is free to watch. It's called Grow, Cook, Eat. It's based in Ireland, I think, and it's each little episode, about 15, maybe 20 minutes long, is showing each about a different veggie and how it grows in raised beds and pots and things like that. So I'm learning a lot, because I really haven't done any gardening ever in my life. So yeah, that's about it. I want to show you around our space and just have this for documentation purposes to see how far we grow. So thanks for watching.